Hey everyone, and welcome back to Shades of Sasha. And in today's video, we're going to do the flip over method. It's a quick weave installation. And if you're not new to YouTube, then you should know Ivy. And she's kind of the one that has coined this flip over Ivy no part like flip over method. But as I promised, I wanted to show y'all how I actually take off my quick weaves. And all you'll need is a spray bottle of water, and that's pretty much it. If you want to go in the shower and just drench your head back and then just let the water run, that's also something you can do. If you want to just sit under the sink or whatever the case may be, this is literally all you're going to need to do. So you're just going to spray it. Make sure that your hair is very, very saturated within the water before you just start ripping it off. Because it should not rip off. That's why I laughed. It should actually peel off. And in some instances, it actually just kind of slides and glides right off. And there was nothing that was done with my hair when it came to damage, because I make sure I take my time while doing this. And if you've been watching all of my videos so far, one of the things I always say, there's a few things I always say. One of the things I always say is less is more. So it's always easier and good to just start off small and then add as you go on if you think it's needed. But I also always try to make the statement of taking your time. Like, rushing the process of anything will just lead to more disappointments than you actually want. So I always just suggest just taking your time to make sure that you're doing that. I'm also going to kind of show you a glimpse of what I've been doing to just make sure I'm taking care of my hair as well after I've taken this off. So pretty much after this is completely removed, because it's super saturated and it slides off of my head, you're gonna see how intact that these bundles are. And then there's a video I will drop after this where I've actually reused these exact bundles, because that is something you can also do. You don't have to do the quick weave and keep throwing the hair away. It could be reused, but I find it's going to be easier to reuse it if you do the flip method instead of the cut-in method. But we shall see, because I will be doing another quick weave with the Kinky straight bundles that I will be using in today's video, and let's see how that works out. So I'm going to actually use this hair mayonnaise because I want to really restore my hair with the journey I'm on. I'm trying to make sure that I don't use a lot of heat, which I'm being very, 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 very intentional and disciplined about that. But I also want to make sure that I'm restoring moisture back into my hair, and that I'm just locking things in and taking the time to just have my hair do what it needs to do, while just making sure that I'm remaining some type of health, because I really just don't want to damage my head. So for the most part, the more drenched your hair is, the easier this is going to be to pull off. As much as you see me peeling it up, I'm telling you, it did not rip anything. I didn't really lose or shed any hair at all. And then I will just remove all of this. So all of the braids that I have in my hair, I will just make sure that I go ahead and I take those out, and then I will just make sure I add the hair mayonnaise to the rest of my hair. And then I sit under a cap, wrap my hair up with a plastic bag, and I sat there for like an hour and change. And then I washed my hair out with some conditioner and just kind of did my treatment, and that was pretty much it. For the most part, after everything is done, your hair is washed, it's thoroughly clean, this is going to be the next step. The next step that you're going to need to do in this process, and that's pretty much just parting out what your leave out is going to be. A good tip or test on this is when you have parted your hair, whatever the back of that comb is, just put the hair that you have parted out around it to see if it's covering it or not. That will let you kind of know, do you need to actually have some more leave out? I learned this trick by seeing someone doing tape-ins and specifically tape-ins, and I was like, I think I'm going to try that and see if it's actually helpful for everything else. And I'm really, really glad that I did that. So I also had shared in my last video that if you can't braid, what you could do is put your hair in a ponytail like towards the back, and then just add your cap on it. And this is it, that I just want to show you that it's possible. That's not the method I will be doing, but I really wanted to be as diligent as possible to share it with those people who they really learn by seeing. So this is what I mean when you just put your hair in a ponytail that's low, and then you just go ahead and you'll put the cap on. I personally went and I added 2 caps instead of 1, because I really wanted to have my hair be as protected as possible. Even though I'm doing a shield and everything, your girl just really, really wanted to go the extra mile. So I've said this many times, but I cannot braid the traditional way. I braid inside out. And so I just do that same method to just braid all of my hair going towards the back. I tend to lean to about 10 braids for the most part, because I think the smaller your braids are, the easier it's going to be when it comes time for you to just make sure everything is in place and it's not bulky and everything is just going to lay as flat as possible. You just want to always think about the steps that I'm taking to do my hair is to make sure that it is done the way that I want my hair to be done. And so that is why I will always just opt to using my time wisely. And even though I may want to do something quickly, I'd rather it take longer and be done the right way than having to redo it. And so after I braid all of my hair back, I just add some oil to my hair because I really want the moisture to be when my hair is tucked away for a long amount of time. I'm not worried about what's happening. Is it clean? I don't want to be patting in a store. Like I have no damn, sense in my head. So I just try to make sure that I'm doing that and that everything is just clean and is moisturized and everything is good. And so pretty much this is the surface that I'll be working with today. And then I put two caps on instead of one. This is the same method that I did in the first one. And this is the protective shield that I will be using. And these are what the wig caps are that I also got as well. And so for this specific process, I am using 3 bundles that I got from Amazon. To be honest, I think I paid under $60 for all 3 bundles. And the method that I'm going to use today is the method of cutting my bundles. So I've shared one method where you don't have to cut it, and this is the other method where you will cut the bundles, because I want you to know that you have options. It just depends on what you want to do. And so I put about 2 to 3 layers of the shield on my head, and then I just let it blow dry and just sit, because the more protected that your hair is going to be with the shield, it's just going to help you in the long run. And that's how easy it is going to be for when it's time to like pull it off. You're not going to be kind of frantic or nervous about anything. And so once we've cut the bundles, one of the things that I'm doing is just that curve method and just making sure that you're adding everything in the U shape and then coming up, and then towards the middle you just want to kind of like lay your tracks flat and just straight and go up and up and up. And you'll see the way how I'm doing this method. The part that is very, very important is at the end. Unpopular opinion, in my, personal preference and opinion, I don't think it's really as important. I think the best part and the part that you cannot skimp on is how you kind of lay things in the end, because that will make or break how your hair is going to lay and how everything will kind of turn out in the end. So that's what you see me just doing here, just making sure I'm laying all of my tracks the way that I needed to. I wanted to also use all 3 bundles. You don't need to use all 3. However, I know that I really love a thick amount of hair, and I really just wanted to make sure like that was it. So this is what I mean, that you're just gonna keep going across instead of like the U shape when you're at the center of your hair. And I also install my hair by using the smallest bundle first and then go up. So I use the if it's 14, 16, 18, I do the 14 first, the 16, and now we're at the 18. So the important part at the end of this is you want to leave a little gap in space, and you want to cut all of your bundles in the smallest strips, and you're basically going across your hair, going across the hairline that's invisible in there, to just make sure that when everything flips, it's just going to flip seamlessly. So from the beginning of where you saw to all the way this end, that is exactly where you want to just lay the tracks, and then this is how it's going to turn out. When it comes to the flipping part and just how everything is completely hidden, chef's kiss. It's absolutely amazing. And then I go in and I'm just flat iron my hair. I really, really love the way that this style came out. I want to say this is probably top 10 of this year. I know for a fact this is making it in my top 10 list, because I just really love the way that this look was just versatile, and it's just my signature now. Like, it's a go-to of what I'm excited about doing. I will be doing another quick weave where it will be a side part, so I'm interested to see what that is going to turn out like and if I'm going to love it. But I really did love the way how this came out. I didn't have to curl my hair or anything, but I chose to do it because I wanted to see what else is the look and what else can I give. And so that's part of the beginning of this video, how you saw like what I did. But for here, it's the same thing. You could do just like the half up, half down because of just the construction of how everything is done inside. You could just leave it flowing. You could put it in the back, whatever it is. There's so much versatility. But thank y'all for watching. It's your girl, and I'll see y'all in the next video.